I think too, like AI is going to be a great tool to rely on, but being realistic with it, like AI can't do everything and it still can't replace that human touch. So working with somebody who understands the best way to use AI and harness that, like you said, I think is really important too.
Welcome back to Torch Talk, the show where we spotlight bold local leaders growing their businesses and communities with grit and purpose. I'm Lindsey Chupp, owner of Fierce Creative Solutions and your host. And today we have Julia Kooser, our Director of Client Success. And Julia and I are going to do Fierce Wrapped. So we're going to go through what we saw work this year, what we saw not work this year, client success, some struggles and challenges, and just kind of talk about it. So welcome, Jules.
Thank you.
We haven't done one of these together yet.
No, this is our first.
I don't know how we have avoided it this long.
It keeps getting rescheduled.
Yeah. Okay, so when you think about 2026 in general, is there something that stands out to you when you think about the clients that you have managed overall?
Change. Everything has changed so much this year, even from the beginning of the year to now. So I would say change and adapting to that change.
What do you feel like some of the biggest changes have been?
I would say recently what we've been experiencing is would be the change within Google and Facebook ads, Meta ads. So in the beginning of the year, I feel like we were running really targeted, narrow campaigns, and now we're ending the year with them being a lot broader.
AI going into both of those platforms is saying that they both want you to just put everything into one big bucket and they're going to figure out what will work and not work.
They have control.
Yeah, they which is why we don't want to give it up, because we want to be able to have the control. And usually when Google Ads makes a recommendation, it's so they make more money, not so we do better.
Yeah.
So we have not always taken the advice that they give us, but we did have a couple of clients that we tested putting those budgets and strategies together into a pool towards the end of the year, and we definitely saw some better performance. I'm thinking of a client in particular where, like on Facebook, we switched halfway through the year and it cut their cost per lead in half. So they generated more leads at half the cost, and it's just really hard to ignore those types of results.
Yeah. I feel like in the beginning of the year too, we were trying to have those narrated campaigns, have those themes per campaign, run a little bit shorter, but just the broader, even in the messaging, having that a little bit more broader and not so specific. I was trying to think of any word other than that, but that's I need a thesaurus.
I would say, like, I've spent a lot of time looking at SEO for the same reasons.
Yeah.
Google made a bunch of algorithm changes this year. It's been a little bit, it feels like the wild, wild west out there. I follow a bunch of SEO experts on LinkedIn, and I feel like they were all having kind of like, they're positioning it from a positive perspective because they're putting content out on LinkedIn, but there's this undercurrent of panic.
Yeah.
A little bit, because, you have AI coming in and actually giving Google a run for their money. Google is bringing in Google Gemini, which is going to change the format of search. And then Google made a bunch of algorithm changes. So like pages just got cut out, and the way that they're going to rank pages changed. And so there's some pretty big pivots this year. Definitely had a lot of conversations with clients around that. Overall, for both PPC and SEO, we did see, like, if you look at our clients in general, we had some really great
Good growth.
results, even with those changes and challenges. But it'd be great if we could just have like a moment of silence for how annoying it is that these things change all the time.
Yeah.
It's just kind of exhausting to feel like you have to stay ahead of it.
I was going to say that is learning how to adapt and change quickly has been a thing. Not a challenge, but definitely something to keep in mind and having to overcome a little bit this year. And that's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's true for more than just marketing.
Yeah.
But
and that's always kind of how marketing is too, though. This year just seems like the rate of change is a lot faster.
And I think the next 2 to 3 years are going to be a little bit crazy still. I feel like I said to a team member earlier this week, it's like when the iPhone came and everybody went from a flip phone to, I mean, smartphones were kind of out before that, but not necessarily all the way there. And an iPhone got introduced and that changed a whole bunch of stuff. I was trying to correlate it to something they might understand, although I'm not even sure the person was born.
That they had a flip phone.
Annie, whenever the iPhone came out. So, um, but there's like key points in time where there's really big changes. You know, Google Ads used to be AdWords, and you have all of these different things when we look back. And I feel like we're going to look back at some point, and this time period is going to be a huge kind of shift in how marketing works.
Yeah.
We have no idea what that actually means, though.
No.
I wish we had more like very clear insights.
Crystal ball.
Yeah. What that does mean is that we are committed to staying on top of the next steps for each one of the platforms. What changes have you seen on the social media side this year?
I feel like social media is like always changing. This year I feel like maybe in the beginning of the year there were some shifts, but then I feel like social media was one that kind of stayed pretty consistent this year. Reels, short form videos are still king. Video is king. That's not going to go anywhere. Maybe how brands are positioning themselves on social and how people are consuming things a little bit differently. They're wanting things to be more authentic and not overly produced, so they can relate to the brand a little bit better.
We tested and introduced Pinterest as a part of our social media strategies for a lot of our clients this year, and you sort of led the charge on that.
Yeah.
Any standout highlights?
I would say maybe it's more of the change of SEO, but how social media has been such a big role in SEO this year. So something new that came out with Instagram is Google being able to read the captions on Instagram, and that connects to their SEO ranking. So that was a big change. And then Pinterest, while it is a social media platform, it's also a search engine platform as well. So how that, where you think of that of producing social content, but it really ties back to dragging people back to the website, getting those clicks, and whether that's to a landing page or to a blog, but trying to convert them that way.
What we are seeing is that the departments are all connected.
Mm-hmm.
So search everywhere optimization is also a term that we've used a lot this year, but we're actually seeing it in action now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that that's a term that we've even heard for 2 years now. But to see this year, like you said, with Instagram being indexed on Google, and Pinterest, and it's just all really connected anymore. And it actually makes it really hard to even look like at the end of the year, if we're looking at web traffic and we're trying to decide what worked and what didn't work, you know, your organic traffic might be down a little bit, but maybe your social traffic is up. And so then what actually worked and what didn't work? And I think at some point it's kind of like with branding. With branding, you need to put everything out there and know that it will turn into results, but it may not turn into results right this second.
Yeah.
So there's a purpose. You're investing for the future. Overall marketing, social media is kind of like that too. It's, everybody knows that they need to be on social. Everybody has been fighting the video trend. I think that more of our clients embrace that this year.
Yeah.
And we definitely saw positive results in that regard.
And to your point of not knowing exactly what works, if like organic's down and social's up, I think the buying cycle and everything has extended so much longer this year too. So even if somebody saw your ad, came to the website, the chances that they convert that first time are very low. So then, keep engaging with them through social and retargeting and everything else. And how do they get back to the website for that final conversion? I don't think it's a clear path as maybe it used to be, because it's really all of those things working together.
Yeah, 100%. So, okay, if you're thinking about going into 2026, any big advice you're giving your clients, or what would you tell businesses who are thinking about their 2026 marketing plan? Should have already had it done by now, but let's say
you can go to our website and download the form and download a worksheet. Worksheet. I think the consistency and the cohesiveness is going to be really a big play in 2026. So making sure whatever you are doing, you're being consistent with it. And then the things that you're doing, that they're all cohesive together. So is your messaging cohesive across your website, your social media, if you're going to run any ads, both that and the visuals, being really strong visually, is going to be continue to be really a big play in 2026. So just making sure that you're cohesive with everything you decide to do, and then you're just consistent with it.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 C's.
I think my advice is, because a lot of the things we do don't change. Like, we'll change our strategies, but we're still creating a budget. We're still creating a plan, and we're still dividing the budget up and figuring out where all of the money goes. And that is absolutely necessary. So you need a strategy. You need goals that go along with that. So, does my strategy take me to my goals? Those are all questions you should be asking yourself. And if you don't have clarity, absolutely, then I am recommending everybody looks for that first.
Yeah.
But overall, I would say, if you are doing marketing on your own, or you're working with another partner and they're not talking about the changes on the landscape, or you feel like you don't know what's coming down, then I would say now more than ever, individual marketing teams, or a person, or just an owner of business who has absolutely no marketing support, need that outside support, the more specialization, especially over the next couple of years. And I'm not saying that to plug us.
Yeah.
Work with us or not work with us. I just think with some of the changes that we've seen, it's going to get a lot more specialized. And in order to kind of harness AI in the right way, harness the search results, the social, and all of the things, you're going to need support with that.
Yeah.
That would be kind of something that's not just 2026. I think that's on the horizon in the next couple of years.
Yeah, definitely. I think too, like, AI is going to be a great tool to rely on, but being realistic with it, like, AI can't do everything, and it still can't replace that human touch. So working with somebody who understands the best way to use AI and harness that, like you said, I think is really important too.
Yes, agreed. Any top results you want to share for this year?
I think email marketing is something that we don't talk about a lot, but we have a lot of clients that utilize email marketing. One client in particular had some really great results from their email marketing, with over 48% open rate, with their industry average being a 21%. So I thought that was a great shout out.
Yeah. We had 2 clients, because we just went through our performance reviews as a team, and we had 2 clients that had really high email open rates.
Yeah, email is kind of the secret weapon that doesn't get it's not like one of the hot topics, but yeah, it's definitely a great way to nurture your leads and stay in front of your audience.
Okay, well, at the end of the day, like, I used to run Google Ads. I will always go, like, it's always my go-to, and it's just, I love it because it's so easy to measure. One of my favorite, this is for Fierce in general. So I love looking at this because it's always like, what? Okay, so for Fierce in general, in all of the accounts that we manage, we had 21.9 million impressions, 317,000 clicks to websites. We had 26,000 conversions for all of our clients.
Awesome.
And our average cost per conversion was $34.39.
That's crazy.
I love it. It's my favorite.
That's great.
I would say I had specifically one client. We had pretty good SEO results overall, but I had one client who doubled their organic traffic this year. And so that's always fun. So much easier when you're sitting down with them and you're like, we don't hide the numbers. Garrett likes to say this all the time. When he's talking to people, he's like, if the number's good or bad, we're going to put it out there, and we do. It's just a lot more fun when you get to share the positive numbers, not the
absolutely
negative numbers to go along with it. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Any final thoughts for the year?
No, it was a good year.
I know.
It was a wild ride, but it was fun. It's
a wild ride. We're going to close out, the rest of 2026. There's only one day left right now when this airs.
Like, wait a minute. No.
We have a couple more weeks.
We have a couple weeks,
Not
but
really. I love a new year. It's fresh. It feels like a fresh, new, clean slate. So we get to start over. So I'm excited to see what happens this year, and I'm excited to do it with you.
Me too.
Thanks for tuning into Torch Talk. If today's story sparks something in you, share it with a colleague, community leader, or a future change maker. Until next time, stay inspired, stay intentional, and keep your fire burning.